What's up? Welcome back, Studium Lamberti, episode 2, weekly vlog. I'm going to be trying to put out a video every week. This video was actually shot a couple weeks ago, I think. I was just trying to upload a bunch of videos to have stockpiled. So, because sometimes you can't film every day or it's not worth filming. So I'm just trying to figure that out. I'm new to YouTube and just trying to figure out how to make these videos, what the content is going to be of the videos, because like the content is going to be me talking about this situation of painting full time and whatever, and art history, those type of things. And but the actual video footage, I don't really want to be doing necessarily like process videos of me explaining my technique. And there's a lot of people already doing that, people that probably actually are better explaining how they paint and they got a sick setup. I'm not too interested in that. I'm just more interested in documenting what it's like working from home with a wife and 5 kids. I saw some videos online. They're like, "Oh, I could, I don't have any kids. That gives me so much time to be an artist." It's like, kids don't stop you from doing nothing. You can do whatever you want. So I know some of the busiest, most successful people have more kids than me. So kids don't stop you from accomplishing or doing anything. They just enhance it, in my opinion. Like these little rascals here, they're they're everything. But there is a challenge. Like this day, my wife, she had gone out for an appointment or something, and I got left with, I think, 3 of these guys. So it was like, well, I can't really sit at the easel and paint because these maniacs will not allow me to do that. So, well, let's just make it. It was a beautiful day. Like I said, it was a couple weeks ago. So I was just like, the weather was good. We're in Alberta, springtime. It can be sunny. It could be rainy. It could be snowing. It could hail. Who knows? But anyways, it was a good day. So thought, oh, let's clean out the studio, clean out the garage, start some spring cleaning, maybe get some yard work done. So, and that's something that, I can do that kind of work with the kids around, as opposed to, yeah, maybe if I didn't have kids, I could just be focusing on painting 100% of the time. But I can't do that anyways. I got to be constantly changing up, doing things. That's just the way I work, kind of one thing after another. So yeah, and that was a challenge, I think, for my wife and I to figure out our schedule, especially because we had another baby in February, and that takes a lot of energy and time, especially for my wife. So now that I'm home, I was able to. So I wasn't actually painting as full time as I would have liked to have been, because I was helping her out with the kids. But that's just, the season that we're in with the baby. But the baby's 3 months now, so soon it'll be like pretty much independent. And we'll just be able to, I can help my wife less in the house. So, but yeah, I was getting frustrated because I was like, I need to be out there painting. That's our income. I got to build up all this work. I'm not working. I'm in the house looking after kids. And as a man, I was getting frustrated because I felt like I was doing nothing. But in reality, I was helping out my wife who needed the help, and if I was working at work, she would be able to do it. But I am here, and it's like she needs the time to rest and everything. And the other kids are, they're toddlers and all the way up to 13 years old. It gets crazy at times. So yeah, it's just learning the new schedule for both of us and working that out. My schedule right now is about 8 to 4. I try and be in the studio, and that includes, making these videos, editing, or going on the computer. Because some of the images I do is, I do composites of trying to do mashups of images to make a bigger image, a story. So there's work on the computer, there's work on the phone, and then there's obviously the painting. And that was also a big thing because I haven't painted in like full time in so many years. It's just getting back into the swing of things because, if you don't use it, you do lose it. And it takes time to get those muscles working again of, getting your color set up, figuring out your palette, yeah, there's some initial setup work that's involved to actually before you even start the painting. And yeah, just getting into that flow of sitting down, focusing on painting. And even at the very first little while, the kids were always banging on the door because they know where I am. I'm not like out at work, out of town. I'm literally in the garage there. And so I was just trying to be like, no, Papa's working. You got to leave him alone. I do try and come in for lunch and those things. Or if my wife does need a hand with something, I can put it down. But it's just really trying to treat this as a real job. And because we do need to make money. And that means I have to work. And that goes back to what I was saying last time about having deadlines. Once the commissions and things come in, I might have deadlines for those, um, depending on what the commission is and that sort of thing. But until that becomes a regular occurrence, which I think can take some time, our idea was for me to apply to as many competitions that I can, and make work, because obviously those competitions have deadlines for their submissions. So that just really helps me focus and buckle down to work. Because if it's left open ended, you know, I'm the type of person that needs deadlines. I'm self motivated to a certain degree. I think, especially initially starting projects, but seeing them through to completion can be sometimes a challenge for me. And I just get really bored of the images, because it's like I have the image in my head, it looks great in my mind, and now doing the actual grind of painting drapery in some section of a painting that I don't really care for because it's not the most interesting part of the painting, that becomes a grind. But it's just, that's kind of like working out or whatever. You have to just get through the motion. There's going to be parts of the painting that you don't like as much. Well, and that's just for me. I can't speak for other painters and how they see their work. But just for me, it's like, this is a really boring section, or it's tedious. And then, let's go paint something cool over here. Look at this shiny thing over here. And but yeah, it's just getting through that repetition, putting the reps in to get that, to complete the whole painting. And it's actually when you do those boring sections of the painting, or the places that people don't necessarily look at or put so much emphasis on, when you do complete those sections and all the hard work that went into it that people might not even appreciate, I appreciate it. It's just like I did it. It's just like any kind of job you do. When you see it's those little details that nobody knows that they're there but you, um, it's actually quite rewarding. Excuse me. So yeah, you can see I'm doing yard work here. The content of these videos is going to be, just me documenting. Like the footage is going to be me painting or doing work around the house or yard or whatever, because I'm not making videos that are, showing my palette and all the colors and, each brush stroke. And there's a lot of videos like that already, and I think they're great. I love watching that stuff for myself, because I think that's more geared towards, people that are looking how to paint or really interested in technique and those sort of things. Where my channel, I think, is going to be mostly about just the lifestyle, the philosophy of my art, my painting, and how I'm making that work with the fam jam. So yeah, I can't, I might have some videos where I go in and I'll describe more of, the technical side of things, and that's the whole thing. You might run out of content or whatever. So I'm just going to go with the flow with the videos. The real idea is just mostly having a vlog that's going to just keep you guys up to date with the progress I'm making. And so yeah, you can see these guys, they were having a little dance party. So yeah, you can still have fun with the family and work at the same time. If you told me 6-7 years ago I'd have 5 kids and be painting in my garage, I'd say you're a crazy person. So you never know where life is going to take you, and what's in store. And this is one chapter out of many of, hopefully, a long life. So yeah, who knows what tomorrow brings. And yeah, just like and subscribe, keep coming out, and yeah, hopefully you enjoy the content, and because I actually enjoy making it. So yeah, tune in next time. Have a great day. Bye.